Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Tuesday Track Talk podcast, episode number 18. Today we got a hot episode. The main topic for today is 2024 hot laps, or as we might say, 2024 hot takes. The pit crew's got a lot of hot takes coming at you today. And we're all gonna, throw them out there and we'll just kick it around the pit crew and see, what our takes are. Again, I love these episodes. We're all coming in completely blind to all of our statements. So as we start throwing out some of these hot takes, yeah, we're going to be burning it down. So on today's episode, we also are going to do a little bit of race recap. There was some dang good racing last week, both on the dirt and the asphalt. So we'll do a little bit of recap on those races, and then we'll get into the main event for today, which is the 2024 hot takes. So without further ado, how we doing, fellas?
Doing good. Good. So I know we usually talk about the Packers and the Badgers on these. So I wanted to throw a little curveball into, what we kind of talk about before we get into racing. Have you guys been victimized by this Stanley Tumbler blow up as of these past couple weeks? You know what I'm talking about, like these tumblers.
Yeah, no, I don't have one.
You haven't been victimized like the ladies have been wanting them or anything like that.
No.
No.
Okay. So I saw this post today. Police say woman was arrested for stealing 65 Stanley tumblers worth 2,500 bucks.
I did see the picture. Dude, that was crazy. 2 grand in tumblers. What are you gonna do with all of them?
Yeah. So for the Spotify listeners, it's
Christmas
literally
gifts for the next 2 years.
yeah, it's literally all these Stanley tumblers are piled up on the front of this officer's cruiser, and it's just hilarious. I just love the I don't know what you want to call it, the fad that this is.
Yeah.
So I just saw that. I just thought that was interesting and amazing, barbaric, however you want to put it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The old black market, Stanley branded cups for
Oh
$20 on the black
God.
market.
Yeah, it's just some chump change there, over 2 grand. But
No
yeah,
kidding.
no, I don't know. I've been had kind of the productive day. Finally getting around to some of the 2024 New Year's resolutions I had. So
Nice.
today was about day one. I finished my first book of 2024, and then it's finally not freeze your tail off in Wisconsin. So got outside and went for a little walk. Went for a half-hour walk, which is where my brain was just turning on some hot takes. So um, not only was I smoking off the feet while walking, but there's smoke coming out of the ears too. So no, feeling good, and yeah, just
So on
brain's
the
firing on all cylinders.
so on the book discussion, are you doing like what's your goal? Are you like doing a book a month? You got
At
a
least a
certain
book a
amount of
month. Yeah, at
okay,
least a book a month. And ideally, I just like to I try to read every single day.
sure.
Um,
Anything like are
and
you hitting like certain topics or just whatever kind of flips your trigger?
so I guess there's two areas that I really enjoy reading. One is like personal growth, like
Sure.
how to be a better person, whatever, finding your passion, your purpose, like all that. So I really enjoy those. And then the other thing that um I enjoy reading is like how to push the human body, which is getting into Kellen's world. Like this next book I'm gonna read is like called Endure, and it's like how to push your body to extremes. Um, so those are the two things I enjoy reading. One, because I want to try to get back physically fit.
Sure.
So, and I don't know. I just love the psychology of stuff like that, the personal growth, and then like, I'm sure you've heard of like David Goggins,
Yeah,
like that shit. That's
sure.
what.
Sure.
Stuff that makes me want to run through a brick wall and like get my
yeah,
together and get in shape. Like that's the stuff I enjoy reading.
better body, better mind type of thing.
Correct. Yeah. So, um,
All right.
Nice.
we'll burn down some. We'll be burning some laps, and hopefully I'll be burning some calories.
Sure.
So,
Sure. There you go.
but yeah. Anything else new?
Not really. Just kind
Let's
of,
say it's winter time in Wisconsin, so it's not there ain't a whole hell of a lot going on. We're just trying to survive basically.
yeah. That and I mean the racing is starting to pick up a little bit.
It goes in its waves. It gets
Yeah.
hot, slows down, gets hot, slows down, and
So we're on an uptick a little bit, I think. So
yeah, the
start
racing
start
down in Bama and Florida and all that
yeah,
definitely helps.
kind of gets a guy to get the bug when you get Lucas Oil back on the call.
Ooh,
Welcome in tonight. It's like, all right, we're gonna be okay.
yep, yep.
I didn't. The other thing I thought about the other day too, actually, like yesterday when I was just sitting here, boys, you remember last year? We're about 3 or 4 weeks from getting into another year of fantasy.
Oh no! Oh,
The reigning champ is back.
The,
oh,
Back in the
the
lead.
inaugural season is over. Everybody got a year to try out their strategies,
yep.
figure it out. Guess what?
Ah,
2024, we're 3 weeks away from starting that weekly just grinder. 36 weeks.
grinder, verbal abuse, and just
Terrible
smashing
decision,
stuff because you did something wrong.
terrible decision making.
Oh man.
Then you always
Yes.
got your group of hammers. How often do you use them? Because you only
Yep.
get them 10 times.
I do love the format of the
Yeah.
fantasy though. I think it's a great format. I've heard, they got like the salary cap based ones. You get, points based on finish and passes and all that. And I like this one compared to like that version of it.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
free too, so that helps, but
Yeah, it's free. And then there's some strategy into when you use
certain drivers.
certain drivers. And you
Yep.
can't just start Kyle Larson all 26 races of the regular
Yep.
season.
So
I
what's your guys' strategy heading into the year?
I ain't telling you.
To be honest with you, I don't really have.
I tell you what, I one that paid off for me, talking about like using burn and starts off for some guys. SVG at Chicago. I pulled that trigger on that, and god damn it, did that pay off for me.
That's too bad.
Yeah, that really was too bad.
Man,
But
that would
yeah,
hurt.
as racing's starting to pick up and more paint scheme, you're starting to see more and more NASCAR stuff. Teams
Yep.
getting finalized, sponsors, paint schemes, photo shoots last week. And I was just thinking the other day, I'm like, oh, as we're getting into it, you're starting to see Clash commercials and stuff like that, and
Daytona promos and
all the promos. I'm like,
yep.
boys,
It's here. It's coming.
we're only 3 weeks away from that 36-week grind. So, and if anybody's listening and wants to join in, we'd love to have more than 4 or 5 people in the league this
Let's
year.
say I can maybe keep a league just for us three, and then maybe make another one for everybody else.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
But so yeah, I thought about that the other day. That's
Heck yeah.
I think the highlight of my year, obviously, which didn't really pay off, but man, remember that regular season sweep we came in and we're in P3 and everybody's counting us out and we won Daytona and end up winning the regular season title. Momentum
Was it by
died shortly after that, but
It was like 1 point or something.
Yeah, I was something like that. Like I was full on, like I thought I had it in the bag type of thing. Because I think it was me that was, because you
Yeah.
had a bad Daytona, so I had jumped into the lead. I thought I
Yeah.
had it in the bag, and something happened, and it was like I had to keep an eye on the results in case something changed, and lo and behold, you end up by getting it by one freaking point.
we
Oh
talk about too the verbal abuse, not only on here that we got, didn't start this till probably September last year, so it was a tail end,
yeah,
but in the group chat between the three of us, it's all day
oh,
long.
and it's all race.
Yeah,
It's all race.
Jeez.
But you
So
hear like people that play fantasy football or any other type of fantasy too. It's like that's what gets people to kind of like pay attention to a lot more games or something like that. Or sports gambling. If you do sports gambling, you pay attention to a lot more games. I mean, it's the same idea here. It really gets you in tune to the races and what's going on and
Maybe
all
root
that.
for
So
somebody you don't usually root for too.
yeah, exactly. Yep. Yep.
So
For sure. So I definitely enjoy it. So I'm looking forward to it for next year for that as well. So
yeah,
stop saying next year. It's about three
sorry,
weeks
it is
away.
this year. Yep. Yep.
About 3 weeks away. So
Yeah. The other
I
thing
mean,
that I know the season's getting close is like you were saying, like all the paint schemes. So with that, all the diecast cars that come out, and I realize, oh, I'm gonna get a very tough statement coming up here next month when I put my big order in of diecast cars. So yikes.
yeah, tough.
So
well,
I think yeah, we might as well
yeah, I'm getting a little bit um
get the hit.
agitated. Um
Get the hit.
so I love hearing your guys' stories and chatting with you, but we got
got
things to
racing to
talk
talk
about.
about.
Yep. Let's get right to it. So
Yeah.
um one of the races recaps we're gonna just chat on a little bit briefly. Last weekend. Kicking off the dirt season. Was the World Outlaws running Sunshine Nationals at Volusia down in Florida. Um, so they had their first weekend of racing. First night was rained out, so that kind of sucked. But I guess any initial thoughts that you guys had from just kicking it off. I know we got a few talking points, but any initial thoughts
So
on Sunshine Nationals?
So that's for me, this was similar to the Wild West Shootout last week, where I have never really paid attention to these type of races. So this is my first time watching, especially at Volusia. Obviously, I watched World Outlaws a bit last year, but especially at Volusia, it's a goddamn fast track. Holy man,
Yeah.
them
And for
guys are
anybody that plays the World Outlaws video game, which we do, fun track, but 3 and 4 is tricky. It big flat half-mile track, but 3 and 4 is like a little the outside wall coming out of 4, like it creeps up on you. It's not a perfect like oval,
yeah.
so it's kind of a unique track, but like you said, that produced some fantastic racing.
Because like I was kind of curious because I mean I could tell just by like the camera that it was fast. So I was looking at some of the timing sheets that the World Outlaw posted, and in one of the heat races, the average was 112. That was what the lap time was 112 miles an hour.
No.
So I'm like, man, they're cooking if that's what their average is for that.
Yeah, they're humming right along. I
So I
think
mean that was my first big impression.
my second point to that is there were a lot of guys that made a lot of ground
Yeah.
between Ricky
Gracie
Thornton
check.
between Ricky Thornton Jr. and Brandon Shepard, the two guys that passed like in one night between the two of them, like literally might have passed like 30 cars total, like low 20s to the top five. Like those guys had. So again, hats off to the track prep crew for having that thing racy like that because it just makes them that much more exciting when you got somebody like that coming from the mid to deeper in the field that just has a rocket to run. So
And I think that was so the first night was rained out. Suck.
Yep.
Mother Nature won night one. Um, but night two, that yeah, to your point, Kel, that was the night one or night two, however you want to look at it, was the night Bishop went 16 to second.
Yep.
And first weekend, and not only did he have a rocket, but he already put himself on the map for a top paint scheme of 2024. That
yeah.
orange and black and camo. I don't know who does his wraps, but oh my gosh. Um, and not only does he look sweet, but he's bad fast.
He's going to be a guy to look out for this year.
Yeah. So, like you said, and then RTJ, I don't know if you guys followed him on Twitter, but he was kind of making a joke of it. He was always quick in hot laps, and
Yes.
in
Yep,
both
I saw
nights,
that.
he's like quick in hot laps, never ends well. And both both nights he was quick in hot laps and didn't pan out for him in either. But um, yeah, but obviously, so the first night of racing, Devin Moran got the win, which was, I don't know how you guys want to look at it. Surprising, not surprising. He was a Final Four car in the Lucas Oil Championship last year, but
Not
he got a win. Not
not
surprising.
no, he loves that place.
Yeah, he swept pretty much swept last year.
Yeah, except for the rain night. Yep.
Yep.
So
So
winning this year, he had 3 consecutive there with the World
Yeah.
Outlaws. So the old mailman, he was hauling it.
yeah, so he obviously starts the year off strong. Picks up right where he left off because he was a slide job away from a championship in 2023 there with Hudson O'Neal. So
Yep.
and that was somebody who said, he didn't start figuring it out till later in the year. So obviously he's starting off 2024 strong. He gets to win on Friday night. Um, and then Hudson O'Neal gets to win on Saturday night, and I won't read the talking point. Hudson O'Neal not asterisk 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 around. So and no, he's not. He shows up in typical Hudson O'Neal fashion. Was really quick, had just class of the field car. Was really driving it wherever he wanted to. So um, he gets to win a night two. And I didn't even look at who was the top three on night two, but
Give me a minute, I can tell you. O'Neal, Bronson, and Moran. So Devin Moran,
nice.
podium both nights basically.
Yep.
So yeah. Um, yeah, Sunshine Nationals, really the first big dirt late model event of the year. And for us, it did not disappoint. A lot of just great racing across the board.
Yeah.
If you didn't get a chance to watch it, World Outlaws does a great job on their YouTube channel posting race recaps. So if you can't watch the show, they always got let's say 6 to 10 minute video of the race recap, and those are, you watch those and you feel like you watch the whole show. So if you didn't get a chance to tune in or check out the Sunshine Nationals, give the World Outlaws YouTube channel a search and take a look at that. So any final thoughts on Sunshine Nationals?
Yeah. So Kellen, you'll probably pick up on this a little bit better than Cam would. Did you see who was running the last chance race down there? Nick Panitsky.
Cedar Lake guy,
Yeah.
asphalt guy too.
Yeah. Yep. Nick Panitsky was down there. I
Damn,
saw his name on the ticket. I'm like, there's no freaking way.
nice.
Yep.
Hell
Yep.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
unfortunately he didn't make it out of the last chance, but he was down there. So
Damn. Sweet.
I just figured you'd get a kick out of that.
Yeah, he was down there.
No, I mean you mentioned earlier, Cam, about the them two, Devin Moran and Hudson O'Neal fighting for the Lucas Oil Championship last year and coming down to that slider. I mean, you basically got two Lucas Oil guys that take a win away from World Outlaw guys here starting out the year. So
And Brandon Shepard comes away with the point lead,
yep.
which is going to lead into our main segment for me tonight.
So no, it's always, and we see it at Cedar Lake. We get to see both the Lucas Oil guys and the World Outlaw guys come in, and Lucas Oil guys do like to spoil the party for them guys every once in a while. So
Yep.
Hudson O'Neal tried at Cedar Lake.
you got that right. Got that right. But no, I think it's regardless of, series that they run, it's just when you get it's star power. The amount of guys that you have there running that,
Yep.
the racing produces.
Yep.
Plain and simple.
For sure.
So No,
Yeah.
that was kind of all I had on that. I missed Saturday's race because of the Packer game, and but I did get to watch Friday, and like I said, that was another bad fast track.
Mhm.
Yeah. So yeah, great event. Um, Great to have those boys back. It's been, I think, since the Dome and then the Wild West Shootout.
Yep.
So starting to get back to a little bit of normalcy. Get back
Well,
in the swing of things with the dirt late models. What were you gonna say?
you could say this is the first, uh, really, it's the first race for the World Outlaws,
Yep.
first
Yep,
series to run. So,
absolutely.
Got to start the year strong,
yep.
and it's January already. So, um, switching switching gears. Another race recap we had, going to the asphalt side of things. Chris Speedfest Protect Your Melon 150. Um, Asphalt super late model race there. I guess was able to watch a little bit of it, but as I did last time, I'll just throw it out to you guys. Initial thoughts you guys had on the race.
Pollard's going to be strong this year. I got a feeling
Yeah,
between
you can have
the snowball derby and this one. Oofed.
he's gonna be wicked up for the season.
So
And most look good. Stephen Nassy.
he did. He had a little bit of a strategy call that helped get him up front, but yeah, he's making a name for himself. And he came out with some news this week too, with him running the Cars Tour
You
next
know,
year full time. So
There
well,
was, sorry, go ahead.
I was just say interesting. It's gonna be interesting to see how it shakes out for him.
yep, yep. So he had a couple of big name guys down there too. Brandon Jones, Josh Berry was running down there along with a lot of the normal regular guys, the Cole Butchers, uh Michael Hine, the normal guys you'd see on the short track scene as well. The NASCAR guys didn't fare out too well this week. Brandon Jones really struggled, didn't have anything. Barry wrecked after getting DQ'd in qualifying because of his air filter. Um,
You
which
know,
he admittedly said they just overlooked it. They saw the rule book, overlooked it, and got nabbed for an inch too big of an air filter on it, which is the second time that team has been DQ'd
hmm
in the past however many months.
Uh,
Once in a limited or a late model
Lane
stock, and
Riggs.
once in this. What's that?
It was last fall. Lane Riggs won a race in that car, didn't
Yep.
he? And
Yep. And it got I forget what the DQ was, but they got DQ'd.
no.
Given this one was a qualifying one, but second one out of that KHI stable. So if Rodney Childers overlooking them cars, old habits die hard, I guess. So
Yeah.
no, Barry wrecked as well in that one, and Conor O'Kresick, he had some choice words to say after he got wrecked out.
He left the car in the watermelon patch and he walked back to the.
I thought he was going, so we never saw a replay of the wreck, so I thought he was going after Barry, but he just went back to his own trailer. And I tell you what, he said something that I did not have on my bingo card as far as angry driver interviews for the year.
Can you got to give us the statement? You just got to change out the one word.
Yeah, so he said these guys race like old people.
Bang.
Yep, yep. I mean, he there was no hesitation in that either. He just went out and said it. I was sitting there. I'm like, did he just say what I thought he just said?
Oh
Like, what?
yeah, very animated, one might say.
Yes. Wow.
Oh man. Yeah,
So
that was good. You sent that in the group chat because I actually was in the car for a little bit and you sent that in the group chat. It got sent down and I'm like, he what? And Cam looks at me, he goes, what the hell? I go, that's what he said.
yep, yep.
Oh God.
So I was kind of on and off watching that one. I'm not gonna lie. I may have fell asleep on the couch because of shenanigans that were had. But
Mm.
No, it was another one of those that it was a long out drawn out race, so the controlled cautions definitely came into play for that one. Nasty took his tires earlier versus Bubba, and that's what ultimately was the deciding factor. Was Bubba had fresher right sides and was able to get around him. Maybe a little bit of contact between the two of them that I don't think any of us are surprised by. Uh, but they got around, no wrecks, and Bubba just pulled away. He had a rocket as soon as he got away. I think even with the right side tires, and they even said this on the broadcast too, even if he didn't have the right side tires, he would have caught Nasty and got him around him anyways. I mean, I think he had the car to beat for that
Yeah.
race, hands down.
And even
Nasty.
Nasty. Did you see what I was gonna say? Nasty even said um, I like racing around Bubba. It's good to race him. He goes, it sucks to lose to him. He goes, but it was just good hard racing.
Yep.
So he even said it. A little
Yep.
contact. He goes, but it was little contact. It was just good hard racing. So
Cars came home in one piece.
you bet.
But yeah, I was gonna say early in that race, even before some of those control cautions, Nasty just had a car that was class of the field. It was
Yep.
like inside, like when you starting in the back of the pack, and the fastest way is go where the other cars aren't.
Yep.
Doesn't matter where. That's what I felt like Nasty was doing. Didn't matter if he's on the inside, outside. He was driving around people left and right. So, um, sorry, sirens outside. Um,
Coming for you.
yeah, no kidding. Yeah, Nasty looked good, and then surprise entry. We weren't expecting Kellen over the old left shoulder there. Um, from Central Wisconsin making the trip down there was Derek Kraus, getting in his family-owned car. Um, first time at the track, struggled. Um,
Timed in well.
timed in well, didn't run great. I think he finished P14. So first time
Yeah.
at the track,
P13.
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 First time at the track. Um, so
Getting in,
so look,
yeah, getting in the seat early.
Yeah.
yeah,
That definitely was surprising because there's nothing to like piggyback it with.
It was a one-off kind of.
Yeah. Yeah. So that just kind of surprised me a little bit for that too. But I mean, hey, there was a bit of a Midwest presence down there. I'm not gonna bash it by any means. So
Nope,
no, we
not at
love to
all.
see him. And one of the things me and Kellen were chatting about when we were together was, unfortunately, he doesn't have any. A lot of the seats for NASCAR series are filled, and he hasn't announced any plans yet for
yeah.
2024. So he might. This might be his year where he, works for whoever he's working for. If he's doing similar for Colleague or Legacy, whoever it is, and does that, and we might see him at a fair share of these bigger late model events, which will be
And I don't
cool to
think
see.
that's a bad thing either. It's almost like a Majeski type of thing where he's still in the shop doing something, but he's getting out doing super late model racing when he can. And
The old Jackman literally said that. As I said, we were talking this weekend. Kellen's like, "Is he gonna pull a Majeski?"
Oh, that's
Got in a truck early,
yep,
did well, but never, outstanding, and then has to take a year or two off, work in the shop, learn, and then the next opportunity he gets, maybe he takes off. But yeah, so I don't know. It's always fun to
yep.
watch him race these big shows. Would be even more fun if he always runs well, but never doesn't seem like he's ever really competing. He'll crack the top five or get up there, but um, always fun to watch him race nonetheless.
One thing that I always say too is you got to stay in somebody's conversation. Your name has got to be in somebody's conversation. That's all it takes.
Yep. So speak of, it's kind of, I guess we'll touch on. So Bubba Pollard wins the race. I think it's kind of a good transition point as we got kind of like our last little like touch on point here before we kind of jump into the bulk of this. But like, how about the news of the Midwest? I should say primarily the Midwest Tour or the Wisconsin tracks coming to it. The unified super late model rules.
Yeah. When I saw that news come out, and I never even knew that that was even discussions being had, which I'm a little ashamed of that for how often I go to the races and some of the people that I know. But when that news came out and I saw some of the tracks that were on there, I'm like, this is freaking awesome.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Yeah, I mean, that's huge. And you look at this for some of us, like that's going to be your smaller teams that can
Yep.
now, if you got her in one piece and she's ready to roll, you can change gears and change shocks and go run at the next track because you know the car is in the rule book already. So I think that's a pretty badass deal we got up here. That'll be super cool to see. And I think, you look at that initial list, but I think there's going to be some more tracks that are going to jump on board with that.
Yep. Yeah, I know you were saying that possibly WIR was going to hop on that train. A lot of drivers up here were on board with it. I know Stormy was, I know a guy that we like to follow a lot. He was very on board with
Yep.
that. I think I saw Gabe Somers say something, Max Kaler say something. So I mean, there's just a lot of guys that are on board with it, and I think that's going to help the car count around Wisconsin too. It's just you're gonna see a lot of guys race here on Thursday, here Friday, here Saturday, and here Sunday. You're
Mhm.
just gonna see guys literally make the rounds to all these tracks.
Yep.
So just to
Yeah.
name some of the tracks that were involved: Dells Raceway Park, Slinger Speedway, Jefferson, Madison, State Park, La Crosse, Grundy, along with the Midwest Tour and the Live for Five series. So that includes races like the Nationals, Oktoberfest, the short track championships that are now at the Dells, the Deaches Memorial, the Dixieland or the Gandrud, the Icebreaker, the Bettenhouse. And I mean, that's just the races go on. So I think it's going to help card count. You can see a lot of guys come into the series, and you're just going to see a lot of the traveling guys on a week to week basis too. And maybe maybe this is that first step, but I think Greg McCartan says a good amount of poll or discussion. Uh, when he stands up, his word means it type of thing when it comes to the national tour. As far as let's get a unified rule book around the country. Does it need to follow the Midwest? Absolutely not. But it's a good first step to get that everywhere else.
Yep. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I was gonna say, sorry, go ahead, Kel.
no, I was just gonna say it's cool to see that.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I think, yeah, to your point about, one abiding rule book, doesn't matter where it's from, but let's all get on one. And, this was one of I'd say, the first, kind of step or trial and error, see how this goes. And from everything we've read and our initial thoughts is very positive.
Yep.
And
So,
I think a big portion of that conversation comes from last year with the national tour running so many races up here. I mean, you look at those races, you got for the Dixieland or the Gandrud, you get one local guy that runs there, and they run super late models
Yep.
weekly. He
And
didn't
put
even
on
run
damn
his
good
own,
racing.
and he didn't even run his own car.
Yep.
So I think, and it's the conversation of going back: is it a 2 barrel? It is a 4 barrel. Like that conversation comes about, but if guys want to still go run the Stars race at Madison for the national tour, they absolutely could do that.
Yep.
But
And
outside of that one off, you're going to go to any track and you're going to be, if you're set up, you're going to be legal for everywhere else pretty much.
I think that goes back to like that rumor that I was talking about with you guys when I was at Oktoberfest was the ASA Stars National Tour probably wasn't going to have any Midwest Tour races on that schedule because of that. They still run in the Midwest, but they're not a Midwest Tour race. The Midwest Tour has their own schedule separate. They're not running the Sheer. They're not running Gandrud. They're not running Milwaukee. Well, yes, they're running Milwaukee, but they're not running those races for the national tour. So.
So pretty cool deal. I'm excited
Yep,
for that.
I am too. And I'm excited to see what they're going to be able to do with it in the future then.
Yeah. This is a huge first step.
Absolutely. So,
so
All
yeah,
right.
that kind of wraps up the Chris Speedfest Protect Your Melon 150.
one more point I want to bring up, and Kellen, I know you were excited for this. I
Sure.
know Casey Roderick.
Yeah, dude. How about his qualifying? Slows him down, buzzes the tires a couple times, rolls
Yeah.
into one, just taking it easy. He winds her up top of the board.
Yep.
Happy
So good to see
to
him
see it.
back.
And they said he's trying to make that a year-long deal with Campy. He's for sure got 8 races scheduled with them.
Nice.
But
Good.
it's super late model racing is good with him in the seat.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I had to bring that in real quick. So I think I've spoken my piece now.
Are you done yet?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yep,
So
we're good.
we're good. So yeah, that was the Chris Speedfest Protect Your Melon 150. Love asphalt super late model racing again, and to see some of the us being from the Midwest, to have a Midwest presence down there is awesome for us. And again, we just love short track racing, so any chance we get to watch, we're going to be dialed in, and especially when you get Midwest presence, and then obviously the unified rules, the rules package that they announced was again another
Yep.
seems to be a positive move in the right direction. Everybody seems to be happy, so all around great weekend. Step in the right direction for short track race on the asphalt. So I guess those kind of wraps up our 2 race recaps. So without further ado, I think we're diving into the main event, or one would say the feature. So this week's topic, so to speak, is 2024 hot takes, not hot laps, hot takes. So basically is what we said is, hey, we're going to bring each pit crew member is going to bring, how 5 to 10 statements to the crew, and the other two are just going to hash it out. You're going to hit the gas, you're going to pump the brakes. My segment's slightly a little bit different, but yeah. So I know I got 10 statements prepared. I'm going to just throw them out there. We're just going to have, a brief discussion on each of the statements that I have, and leave it to you guys to leave it to the other two pit crew stones to kind of hash it out and see what you guys think. So without further ado, I think I'm first on the clock. Am I not?
You
Yeah.
are. I got my pen and paper ready to go here too.
All right. So I gotta get critical that I don't blow the cover right away.
This is going to get interesting.
I am
All right. Can you guys see?
full can or no fuel. All right.
Okay.
So we're talking about smashing the gas or pumping the brakes, but I am the gas man on the pit crew. So
He loves this.
it's full can or no fuel.
I love it.
So if you get a full can, you believe it or you're with it. If you get no fuel, you're against it. So what?
I like this.
I'm ready. This is good.
So
Already off to a good start.
Yep.
all right. So
Let's
full
get-
can or no fuel. Here we go. And I ordered my statements 10 to 1, 1 being the finale. So let's get right in. So P10, Chase Elliott will make the championship 4 in 2024.
No fuel.
No fuel.
Whoa.
No.
Nope.
Pretty resoundingly quick, no fuel.
He's going to
I-
struggle playoffs.
Yeah, I could see him getting to the round of 8,
Yep.
but that round of 8 is going to be a struggle bus.
Yep. You took the words out. He'll be like 6, probably 20 points out. Late. Martinsville's going to bite him.
It's going to mirror. I almost feel like it's going to mirror Chris Buescher's run in the championship 8, in the final 8. I think it's going to mirror that. He'll get himself through. He'll maybe even win his way into one of those rounds. but
Yep.
he's going to struggle, I feel.
The round of
Not
12, the round of 12 is where I think he's going to struggle.
he'll get into the 8, but and we see it year in, year out. It's when you get to that 8 that everything matters. You cannot have any mistakes.
Yep.
And I think it's going to be a matter of he's going to make one mistake and everybody else isn't.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Simple. This one's cut and dry.
Yep. Pretty quick no feel there from the other two pit crew members. Number 9. The Dome Gateway Dirt Nationals produces a better show than Chili Bowl Nationals.
This is 9.
Oh my God. Full can.
Somebody snip a picture of Van Gogh right now and put that as the...
Like,
I'm, I'm gonna go. So Van Girl, here's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say Gateway Dirt Nationals, yes, because I just enjoy dirt supers more than I do midgets. That's
yep.
my only premise. Car type. That's it. That's all I got for you. I don't even know where to begin with the rest of it, so that's what I'm going with.
Oh, you're going to do this to me, aren't you? No gas. No gas.
Sure.
I think there's a personal thing. I think I've got a personal one, but I'm trying to figure out like an actual halfway decent reason for it too. One, just because the Chili Bowls, like, and I've said it before, where like the Chili Bowls was really kind of my first introduction into dirt racing. So it's kind of my first love type of thing.
Yep.
So
That,
that's where that one kind of comes into play.
that's exactly what I just did too.
Yep.
Again, all else being equal, what's the deciding factor? I guess what
Driving.
you enjoy more.
Yeah.
So
Yep. I think
yeah,
with I think with the Chili Bowl Nationals, I think you get a larger variety of drivers coming into race.
True.
Whereas, you get your late model guys that come in, you get your modified guys to come and race in, or whoever is racing that particular weekend, because they switch out the support divisions. Chili Bowl Nationals, you get dirt late model guys, you get wing sprint guys, the midget guys, NASCAR guys, you get that variety of driver in there. So I think you get a better show based on the variety of drivers you get versus the racing itself. I think the racing at Dome is great. I like the variety of drivers if I had to, throw a reason out there. And
Okay.
especially when you get down to like C, B, and A main on Saturday afternoon and night, you want to talk about some hammers that don't make the show.
That's fair.
driver intros though, point goes to Gateway Dirt
Oh,
National.
absolutely. Hands down. Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. I will say the Chili Bowl does a good job though with the parade of states. They get, whether you're in it or not, you get to at least do the parade of states. So
Yep. I respect that. All right.
First difference, got Jackman giving us a full can and tire changer going no fuel.
and
So
again, this is number 9.
Yeah, for real.
number 8, High Limit will be a better series than the World of Outlaws in 2024.
I'll go first. I'm gonna
I know where you're going.
I'm gonna
First love again.
no, yes, so I'm gonna go no can, but I'm gonna go, like, I wish I could do like half a can, because I think I'm gonna say the World Outlaws will be better, will put on a better series, but I think the midweek money races will be better. I
I'm
think
gonna,
the midweek money will be that'll be the big one.
so I'm gonna go opposite again. I'm gonna say full can. And I'm gonna say that because the drivers I've followed longer are gonna run high limit.
Sure.
So that's not necessarily a series difference. I'm gonna say that's gonna be guys that I've followed longer are going to run high limit. So I'm gonna say I'm more invested in high limit than I am World Outlaws.
I think the other thing with the World of Outlaws too is, and this is just kind of speaks to Brad Sweet's dominance. You're gonna have new faces fighting for a championship here too.
Yep.
So I think that just adds to the storyline of the season as well.
Yeah, for sure.
So
Absolutely.
I don't know how many new faces are going to be fighting. I feel like that'll be the old DG2 title next year. David
sure,
Crown.
but you also see your swinging guys that kind of make their statements as well too. Does it come down to running the entire series? Absolutely. But I think you're gonna at least get that discussion in there.
Yeah.
Sure.
So
Other difference, we got a full can and no can there. So
Yep.
Van Gro must have something against me because he's going a lot of full cans. All right.
we'll get better questions.
Number 7. SHR will put 2 or more cars in the playoffs in 2024.
No fuel.
No fuel. They struggled too much and they don't have that they don't have that star driver. I think Harvick leaving was a big blow to SHR. Are they going to be good in a couple years? Absolutely, and I hope they are. But I think that you're not going to see that quick turnaround either.
No, I'm not going to say they're not going to win a race.
I could agree with that.
I could see them winning a race, but I'm not going to say they're going to get 2 cars in the playoffs.
I could agree with that.
That's where I'm going.
And the reason I threw this in there, so now you're looking at Chase Briscoe is the leader of that crew. And you're going Chase Briscoe, Noah Gragson, Ryan Preece, and Josh Berry.
Yeah. Well,
So definitely a young movement, and that could be this is a move for the future, a 2-3 year, play.
Sure.
Josh Berry ran well in his time in that 48 last
Yep.
year. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So
They're going to win a race, I think. But
you want to make a quick prediction on who that's going to be?
either Briscoe or Preece. I don't know which one.
Really?
I was gonna say Briscoe or Berry.
I was going to say Briscoe or Berry as well. I could see Briscoe winning it out of either of those matchups, but I was going to go Briscoe or Berry.
It's going to be at a restrictor plate too.
Ooh.
I'm going to get fringy and go, yeah.
You know where I could see it happening? And this
Okay.
is going to New Hampshire.
SHR has been good in New Hampshire.
What?
New Hampshire.
Yeah.
That's where I'd put my money at.
That's where Almirola always made his steak.
I was
Exactly.
gonna say old
Almirola. Yep.
Okay.
anyways.
All right.
So 7, we both you guys went no fuel.
Yep.
Yep.
I still got to get a tank of gas or a can of gas out of you, bud.
All right, we'll see if we can get there. Number 6.
Mm.
Rico Abreu will finish higher than Brad Sweet in the high limit points in 2024.
Hold on, I gotta check something here.
He's fact checking.
No, yeah, I'm going to take it. Yep, he's going to do it.
You're gonna do it.
Yep, I'm going.
I'm I'm still no gas.
Whoa.
I'm still no gas. I think Sweet's gonna be your champ, honestly.
Okay. All right.
I'm going nope.
Okay. I
threw this in there just because we a while back we had that episode where we were round tabling, if you had throw Kyle Larson, Brad Sweet, and Rico on a track at one time, who we take, and we all had somebody else. So yeah, I just thought these are, some of the hotter names. Well, obviously
Yeah.
Brad Sweet's a staple in sprint car racing, and now he's the owner and got the series going, and Kyle Larson's in on that deal as well. And now you got, Rico coming along, and, arguably 3 of the bigger names in one series. And so thought I'd hit you with this, but
Sure.
these are good. I'm impressed so far.
one time here we're gonna get a full camp from the old tire king, but we'll see. All right, number 5. If Ricky Thornton Jr. runs a series in 2024, he will be the champion.
I'll take a tank of gas on that. I'll take a tank.
I think so, yeah. Yep, I'd agree.
just threw this one out there because obviously he had a year that we was out of this world last year. And so and he ended up not winning it, which led to debate on the format, this, that, and
Yep.
the other thing. So
I'll take him. Yep.
I'll take him as well. Got my first tank.
first tank. Van Grohl's finally leaving pit road. Number 4. Restrictor plate racing produces the best NASCAR racing.
No tank.
Oh boy. I'm gonna say no tank. No fuel.
So I'm curious of what you think produces the best racing then.
I threw this out for debate because I just think the more you watch restrictor plate racing, the more things can flip like a switch.
They
Good, bad, or
can.
indifferent. And
I love my 1.5 mile racing.
I agree with that. 1.5 2 mile. Perfect example, Kansas. When you get a track like Kansas, when you can get the multi-groove racing going on, and you get a little bit of that searching for a line as the run goes on, like you do in any of the dirt races type goes on too. I think that puts on some of the best. I agree that super speedway racing can, you get that flip of a switch moment, but I think it's throughout the entire race. I think you get better quality racing out of 1.5 2 mile versus a super speedway.
Restricted
My
plate limits a
opinion.
little bit of your strategy calls.
Yep.
Because if you go in on your own, you're gonna go, depending on how long the run goes, you could go a handful of laps down. You get stuck out there making laps by yourself, which you hope you get picked up. But I think it limits a little bit of the strategy and what you can do with the fuel and tires.
Stage racing has definitely helped the super speedway, the plate
Very
restrictor
much.
plate racing in the years. But when you get to that long stage 3 going on, it happens damn near every race. You get that single file line.
Everybody just rides around to the bottom.
Yep. Or the top, whatever it is.
Now, I'm not
okay,
saying I don't like restricted plate racing because
No,
I
yep,
do enjoy watching it and I love watching it.
100%.
I just I think I'm a 1.5 mile guy.
I threw this in there so I just threw it on the basis of, yeah, 1.5 miles are great and half miles are awesome. But again, I was thinking off of the fact of I'm indifferent. I definitely
Sure.
love watching it. Just because you can go from the
Curious.
fact of you're leading the race to getting split or going high and not getting clear, and all of a sudden you're in the middle of 3 wide and you got a lane on your outside and your inside, and you could go from first to 32nd in less than half a lap.
Yep.
So I don't know. I enjoy the restrictor plate. They're definitely fun to watch. And just the strategies and the drafting and the way that things works. And when one line gets going, it's like almost like you're on jet fuel. So
That's
So just to throw this out there. First off, are we considering Atlanta a super speedway? Let's start with that. Or sorry, it was strict plate racing. So yes, that would count. So
yep.
your top 5, according to Jeff Gluck's Was This a Good Race poll, your top 5 going from 5 to 1 was Atlanta, Fontana, Daytona, Charlotte, the oval, and then Kansas, the first one.
Hmm.
So yeah, 2 restrictor plate races, 3.5 to 2 mile races.
So close. Very
yeah,
close. Yeah, very close. You probably could
So
go to 6 and it probably would be Daga and you probably could go 3 and 3.
Daga was 7,
Ooh.
actually.
ooh,
Kansas, the second Kansas race was 6. So you
Well,
go 4 and 2 then. Or sorry, my
four and
math's
three.
not right. 4 and 3. Yep.
4 and 3. Either way, I mean that's when you get to 7, that's as close as 50% as you can get.
Right. So
Yeah, I thought this was just an interesting topic. Thought I'd
no,
throw
that
it
was
out,
good.
see what you
Yep.
guys thought. Anyways, so 2 no cans of gas there either.
Nope.
Sputtering coming around. P3. B Shep will have more in total winnings in 2024 than JD.
Oh, you're struggling with this, so I'm gonna go right away. Full tank. Full tank.
So here's what I'm gonna say.
And I'll give you my reasoning or my thought on the back. I went back and forth in this statement, but I'm going to give you my thought once you go, Cal.
I'm gonna say
Keyword is winnings.
true. Here's 2 reasoning. I'm gonna say full can. Here's what I'm gonna say. The scary part about this is JD is coming off of, for his standards, a tough year. He could be dangerous coming off of a tough year.
But
For
I
his
think
standards, he didn't race the way, or the season didn't go the way he anticipated. So I think he could be pretty dangerous coming off a year going, we're gonna have this thing tuned up and it's gonna be tuned up right when we unload from day one. Now, Bishop's running World Outlaws. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what it comes down to when the guys split to run their series. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, you look at it like Bishop's going to be racing Pierce every night. But then you look at Lucas Oil and you got
Thornton, O'Neill.
going on last year Thornton, O'Neill, Moran,
Yep.
McCready. So strength of field is going to be a little bit tougher for JD, but I also think JD, the team had a little conversation this offseason. He said, we're going to get this thing right and we're going to be fast from the get go.
I would be curious, and I don't know if this is something that we could easily keep track of throughout the year. If you did just head-to-head races where both of them were in the same event, if you
Yep.
track the winnings then.
You could do that.
So my
Yep.
thought was, so JD is yet to really declare if he's going to run a series or not. Obviously, he wasn't at Volusia, so it's the first weekend and then he's off for a while, but he's yet to declare. But you would have thought he probably would have been there if he was considering running the World Outlaws. But obviously, he ran Lucas Oil last year. Here's my thought on this statement: Bishop will have more in total winnings in 2024 than JD. If I stopped it, or if I changed the statement and went Bishop will have more wins in 2024 than JD, I'm going full can. But on this statement, I'm going no can. I believe Bishop will have more wins than JD in 2024. But the big purse races is where JD makes his money. The Million, the Dream, the big 50K, 100K races, that's when JD shows up.
You're not wrong. You're talking Eldora, and he rocks at Eldora.
Yep.
So I think Bishop's going to have a heck of a year, and obviously he's the Longhorn house car, so he's getting best of the best, and I think he's going to have a wild year. I think he's going to win a lot of races, but I think he's going to win a lot of the Lucas Oil, $10,000, $15,000 to win races. He'll win a lot of those. I think JD goes for the bigger crown jewels and will show up and win more in winnings, but he'll win less races.
Sure.
I can see it. Well, that's a tough one. That was easy.
So I'm down to my final 2 statements, and these 2 I'm jacked up for.
They've been getting good as we go along here.
And this one, I'm excited to hear what you guys got to say about this one, because this is the last racing about a series. But let's just get right to it. The current NASCAR playoff format should remain the same.
I'm gassing it up.
I am also gassing it up.
So you guys agree with that winning the regular season title, the
Yep.
regular season, or having a year like Denny Hamlin and winning all the races but no championship? You're good with that?
Yep.
Maybe not the best team or best car or best driver in a particular year doesn't win a championship. You're good with that?
Especially with the fact that the regular season champ gets a good bonus going into the playoffs.
Yeah, you can't
If you would have
discredit.
changed this to Lucas Oil format, I would have said no gas. But because we're talking about the NASCAR one, they get that incentive in the regular season.
Yep.
I am all for it. And it doesn't matter which sport you're in. Football, baseball, racing. You gotta show up when it counts. And the counts at the end of the year, playoffs come around, you gotta be good.
Yep. So you went
That's
full
all that
can on that
matters.
one? Yep.
Got two
I
full
went
cans
I
there.
went full can.
Yep.
I do enjoy it. I'm good with it too, just for the sake. I just enjoy the 16 just eliminate four every three, like it, and it's clear as day, like who's below the cut, who's above,
Yep.
and it makes your room for error basically minimal,
Yep.
and
Gotta be good when it matters.
gotta be good when it matters. So, are you guys ready for this finale?
Not really, but go
You've
ahead.
been hyping this up, so
So, this one's just a debate. It's a question. Um, so there's really going to be not a full can or no can of gas on this one. This one's just going to be a debate. The Jackman and tire changer race super late model at Slinger, who finishes higher in the race.
Oh my God. Oh,
I mean, I gotta go for myself, right?
I was gonna say I gotta pick myself.
I mean, what? So I am gonna be that guy. And I'm gonna say because I have my iRacing simulator or my iRacing sim here, I have already more laps turned than you do.
You're right.
So, we could put this to the test though, is whenever you guys come up next, we could do the simple, 5 hot laps type of thing.
Yep.
Don't change the setup or any, you can change the brake bias, but that's about it.
Wow, we could do it. I gotta vote myself. The confidence I have or the racing abilities next to none, but I'm taking myself. I'm not going down without a bumper. Oh man, that was good.
That was a doozy.
That
Wow.
was good.
I
That was
love that you picked Slinger too.
yeah.
I just figured things always get rowdy there. Tight quarters, short.
That is perfect.
That's
Um, but yeah, I don't know. I thought too. How many laps do you think you've turned at Slinger?
In a super late, I've probably turned about 30. In a street stock, I probably turned about 100.
Yeah, Kellen. So I would say he's not. I mean, he's got a
You're
little
not
bit.
giving yourself a good argument as why I should pick you.
Me?
No, Callan, the Jackman.
I think he's just got the utmost confidence in himself. But I'm saying, give Kellen 1 hour, and I think he can be at on a simulator, and he could be at the equivalence of you in a super
Sure,
model.
sure.
potentially we don't. That's to be debated. We're gonna have to solve this now.
This is gonna be, oh man. And you know what? When we do this, we're gonna take a video too.
We'll
We're
be
gonna do a couple
recording.
different ones. We'll do Slinger, we'll do Cedar Lake.
Oh
So,
yeah.
so
We'll
here's
get a
the
couple
question:
different ones
if
going.
we get the three of us together and we all do this, is there a practice session?
Yes.
Or is it, hey, as soon as well, yeah, I think we got to do a practice session.
I think you get 10 minutes practice.
The three of us get 10 minutes of practice, and then you get a 5 lap.
Run. Yeah.
5 lap time trial. Yep.
Gonna go
Take your best
average.
lap.
Oh, best lap. Okay.
Take your
Yep.
best lap.
That was gonna be my next question. I'm just
Yep.
thinking about all my angles.
Or no, or we could do IndyCar style where it is average.
Or we could do both of them.
We could do both. Yeah. What the hell not?
But yeah, yep. Good. That's a good one, Cam.
That'll
I'm here.
be
That's a good
that.
one.
And now while we're on it, definitely a future bonus content during the week.
Yep.
Yeah,
I think that'll definitely be a USA Nationals.
weekend.
Yeah. Yep.
Um,
So
yep.
yeah, there's my 10.
That
So
was good.
That was a doozy.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right. Okay.
You know, that goes back to the conversation like us starting our own race teams and like who was the driver and whatnot. Like I said, I didn't pick any of us to drive because I barely trust ourselves to work on the damn car as it is.
yeah, I thought I was thinking of some yesterday and I was coming up with some and I'm like, what could I do to throw my own spin on it and what would be something that would be funny? So
Yeah, that was
now
good.
that we did that last one that came up that last one, now we got that'll be a bonus episode.
Oh man.
Recording each other on the old tire changer sim rig.
You know what I'm gonna do here? I'm gonna put a note in my calendar for that, just so we don't forget as well.
Yeah, that'd be good. That could be a YouTube live from somebody's phone too.
Oh my god.
Oh man. All right, you ready for the next 10?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Gas.
All right, so smash the gas. If you're going with it, pump the brakes, not so hard. All right, here we go. 2024 edition. NASCAR will have a repeat champ in 2024.
Smashing the gas.
Pump the brakes.
Wow. All right, Van Grohl. What are we thinking here? Who's Van Grohl got for
Uh
he's got a first time champ.
yep, we're gonna have a first time champ. I think it is. Am I telling who I'm thinking it is?
Sure.
I think it's gonna be Byron.
He's out there, yeah.
I think
Our
it's
boy,
gonna be Byron.
our boy Denny still ain't got one. Oh,
I
Cam,
would have
you're
pumped the brakes
Oh,
even harder. I would have pumped the brakes even harder if you would have said we're gonna have a back-to-back champion.
good.
Okay.
It's so damn
Shows
hard
you got a
to
lot of belief in Blaney.
it's so hard to go back to back now.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Wow.
I'm gonna say yeah. Um, I think Denny Schneid continues. Um, and then I will say after I thought about it, I'm like, I do get a little bit scared of Willie B, having the year he had last year, but I'm gonna stick with it. I'll smash the gas. I'll believe a savvy vet who's done it, who's been there before, who'll get it done. A Joey Logano, a Kyle Larson, somebody like that. That's been around the block. I believe somebody like that will get it done.
Yeah.
So, yep.
Split them right away in 5-1. Stuart Haas will win a cup race in 2024.
I mean, that definitely goes back to our previous conversation of,
Oh,
are they gonna get a guy in the playoffs? But the question was, are they gonna get two cars in the playoffs? And I did not take my tank of gas there. I am. What are we doing here?
I
You
don't
hit
know.
buttons, didn't you?
I don't know what that was about.
Um, Man,
I'll smash the gas. I'm gonna say they're gonna find a
I will
squirrel.
smash the gas as well.
Yeah, blind squirrel finds a nut once in a while. They're gonna win a race, not because they're the best car, but because they
Yeah.
a strategy call, a late race caution, somebody wrecks, and they're the benefactor. I
Yeah.
don't feel great saying that, considering they weren't even in a position to get that last year.
True.
Nope, I will go with that. I
But then the
will.
previous year, Briscoe won at Phoenix and whatever. So I don't know. And I think they'll get lucky and they'll win a race. I think Briscoe or Priest will. Um,
I think between,
or Barry.
obviously they did a new logo, which I don't know, it feels like a fresh start type of thing, and along with bringing two new drivers in, it's a new feeling type of thing.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's fair. Yeah. You guys are both gassing that one up. All right. Speaking
Don't
of
feel
devil,
great about that.
Ha!
defending Cup Series champ Ryan Blaney will struggle in 2024.
I
I'm
mean,
smashing gas.
I gotta pump the brakes on that one. What's your definition of struggle though? That's the thing. Like not win a race?
So let's
All right, so let's back up. I'll say define my struggle as not getting out of the round at 12.
No, just I'll pump brakes.
I'm still smashing the gas.
I'll pump the brakes on that one.
Okay. You're still thinking deep playoff run.
Round 8.
Okay.
Doesn't get out of the 8, but round 8.
Okay.
I'm 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 smashing the gas. He wasn't great last year.
But he came on when he needed to. He had a phenomenal playoff run.
Ford's got a new body.
I just don't. I don't foresee. I think all else being the same, I see a same regular season, and I don't see him having the postseason that he had this past year. I see him having a similar or equal regular season, getting in, but he's not going to turn it on in the playoffs the way he did, which would lead me to say, yeah, he'll bow out in the round of 12.
Okay.
Out in 12 for number 12. Smash that
Wow.
gas.
Okay. All right. So we got a split again on the old Blaney prediction. Next up, Brandon Shepard will win the 2024 World Outlaws title.
Mm,
I'm smashing the gas.
pumping the brakes.
Ooh.
I think it'll be Bobby P again.
Wow, we got a back-to-back title. Okay. All
Longhorn,
right.
Longhorn factory team. Um, Great start to the year this past weekend in Volusia. It's got the best paint scheme on tour. Yep, that's all I need to see.
I think you're looking at the two championship contenders in
Yep.
Bobby P and Brandon Shepard, but I think Bobby P will repeat.
Yep. All right.
I'm B Shep.
I got Team Bishop. All right. Before I click the next picture, I want you guys to take a look right above that left front fender well of the Jonathan Davenport car in the background. You notice what logo's on there?
Lucas Oil.
That'd be Lucas Oil. Not to give that away, but I just noticed that just now. When Bishop's already got the World Outlaws logo on his car.
Yep.
And you have to know that it's now the Nutrient Egg Solutions restart zone going forward for Lucas Oil. So I would have to say that Davenport's going to run Lucas Oil again.
Mm-hmm.
I don't just notice that now. Side tangent. All right. Okay. We're split again. Kind of staying on the same course. JD will win more features than RTJ in 2024.
Pump the brakes.
I agree. Pump the brakes.
Okay.
Go back to my same statement. I think RTJ will have another phenomenal year. And he's already off to a cooking start. But I just think when JD wins races, he doesn't win a $10,000 or $15,000 show. Like
You're going
his,
back on you're going back to your dollar statement.
yeah, I'm going back to the dollar statement. I would say Ricky Thornton Jr. will win more races, but I think JD is gonna he'll win the crown jewels or the big purse races. And I
Sure.
think that was in the one lap, one beer um interview at Knoxville that he did with Flo. JD says he wishes that the Lucas Oil would back off on the amount of races that they do so that these guys could have more time to do short tracks or in their areas their teams are from. And two, when they show up to a specific track, they're dialed in and cars in the best shape, got the best setup that they know how to do. He just mentioned like he feels like they just at times like you just show up and you're figuring it out on the fly, as opposed to if there was less races, you could be more dialed in. But neither here nor there. I think RTJ will win more features, but I think JD is going to do the same thing and he'll win if Eldora the Million goes back to the late model race this year. Best believe he's going to be a favorite.
Okay.
The Dream or the World 100. Yep. And then JD always gets a couple of those signature 50K wins on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, a Brownstown, something like that.
Okay. All right. So you guys are both pumping the brakes. Next one. Rico will win the high limit title in 2024.
Pump the brakes.
I'll smash the gas.
Okay. You got him winning one, huh?
I'll since I talked for 5 minutes on the last statement, I'll let the tire changer go first this time.
I think just Brad Sweet. I mean, you're going up against him, and especially when Brad Sweet knows how to run a long season series. He knows when he needs to run good, when he doesn't. Rico's kind of got that disadvantage where he's always been kind of a true outlaw, so he doesn't have a full, a full touring series under his belt. Does that mean a whole lot? No, but I think just the how to handle the season will come into play. So that's why I'm saying no, and I think it's going to be Brad Sweet.
Okay.
I'm going to say yes. Rico's coming off one of his best years behind a sprint car with that team. He's going to pick up right where he left off. And then not only that, but I'm going to say Brad Sweet doesn't have his head in it this year. He is now a series owner. He's going to be dealing with a lot more stuff, not race car related, promoters, all the back end stuff. So I'm going to say there's a bit more distraction on Brad Sweet's plate this year, being the owner of the series. Hence, he's going to have to rely on his team a lot more to set up his car. And yeah, I'm going to say I'm gonna say the distractions are going to get to Brad Sweet.
So you're not thinking the table full of White Claws and a phone call is going to fix the problem.
That is a classic photo.
I love that picture. Okay. All right. We're split again. Here you go. Sticking in the sprint car world. David Gravel finally gets the World of Outlaws crown.
I'm smashing the gas. Plain and simple, he's been chasing Sweet for the longest time. He was close last year. Um, close to Sweet, and now that Sweet's gone, he's been waiting to come out from under the wing for a while, and he'll get the job done.
Yeah, I am pumping the gas as well. It's Gravel's time to shine. I mean, plain and simple.
And I'd have to go back and look at one of those who's declared, series, one of those pictures, but it's like, who do you think arguably is going to give him a run for his money? Haudenschild, Schuhart,
I was gonna say
Schott.
Schuart,
Yeah.
shots maybe.
Yeah.
But no, I think we're both in agree. I think Gravel's been waiting under the wing far too long and been too close that this isn't his year.
Okay.
For it
Yeah.
not to be his year. Sorry.
Okay, we got both got a
Sick
chance.
paint scheme too.
Yeah. Black and neon orange.
Yeah.
All right. This is number 8. Van Grohl, I'm going to strike you with this one here. Cole Butcher will win the ASA Stars National Tour title.
Oh man. I'm gonna pump the brakes only because I don't know who else is committed.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah.
I think when you there's certain like
This is a thinker. This is a head scratcher.
nope, pumping the brakes. That's what I'm going with.
Okay. Cam.
I'm gonna pump the brakes and you guys can correct me wrong. Um, if you want to disrespect one of me and mine, I'll disrespect one of you and yours. I'm pretty sure he was one that showed up at WIR and said, you can definitely tell this is a local track if Kraus is that fast.
Yep. Yep.
So
Absolutely.
you want to say something like that, you get what you deserve.
Yep.
He's not going to get it done.
And I tell you what, if there a guy that I'm waiting to see is going to commit is another one in that photo there.
Majeski.
Yep.
Yeah.
Uh, Bubba Pollard's another one. Casey Roderick, Gio Ruggiero. I mean, William Swalach.
He could be on the board too.
It all depends on who commits.
Yep. Okay. All right. So you guys are both pumping the brakes on the red 28. Ooh. I
Ooh.
picked this photo for a reason. I'm gonna go on the premise, we don't know for sure, but I'm gonna go on the premise that he's gonna run the Midwest tour, and I have a feeling he will. Ty Fredrickson will win on the ASA Midwest Tour in 2024.
You know, it's such a hard discussion just because he has very limited starts.
Yep. And I'll explain why I picked this picture in a minute, but I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys make your decisions.
You know what? I'm jumping on that train. Punch the gas. Hell yeah.
I'm smashing the gas as well. When you got somebody like Danny turning wrenches on your car, he's going to show up. He'll be quick at wherever he needs to be. He'll be quick wherever they show up. And a little bit of seat time, he'll find himself in the mix at one of these races at the end of it, and he'll find a way to get the job done.
Oh, I picked this picture. This is the incident for those that are listening. This is the incident when Zier and Majeski got together coming to the end of the Oktoberfest 200 lacrosse. But I think this was his coming out party.
Yes.
I think he wasn't going to outright win the race if these guys don't wreck or solder doesn't break. But he kept his nose clean. He was there. These cars are running single file. Somebody slips up. That's a chance for him to get by. Runs a good line. He could potentially be there to win that race.
There are 3 races or 3 tracks we'll go with that I think he could win at.
Yep.
One of them's in this picture, lacrosse. I think Kaukauna and Madison.
I'd even put Elko in there.
I didn't Yeah, because it's his home track basically.
Yep.
But I was gonna say those three because they are very momentum and fast tracks
Yep.
versus, your tight short track one.
Yep. I just saw like that one crossed my mind as I was looking through some Midwest tour stuff. Like
Yep.
I saw this picture. I'm like, I think that was kind of his big track coming out. So it was kind of
Yep.
his. He found a little momentum. He got behind the seat. He went and ran Nashville. Ran well here. So I
Yep.
just had to bring that one up. And last one. Bubba Pollard will win the Snowball Derby. He gets the monkey off his back.
I'm smashing the gas.
Van Girl, I'm just tearing you apart with these last couple.
Because I love this. I mean, this is my bread and butter.
But they're also super hard debates too.
They are super hard.
These are not just, yeah, he's got it.
You know what? Going back to our conversation at Crisp about Bubba is going to be tough this year.
Yep.
Absolutely. I am smashing the gas.
Cam, you went gas too?
Yep, I picked him this past year.
And you know who he's going to beat to do it?
Nasty.
Dassey.
He was my pick this past year to win it. Um, what happened? It's strong car. And then did he end up getting
Yeah, you got
You're talking to,
nasty?
yeah, him and Nasty got together.
Yeah, yeah. I'll
You guys
smash
had
gas.
you guys had six that were the same.
Between Van Grohl's superior knowledge, saying this is going to be his year, and me picking him last year, between those two, I feel great about it.
All right. You guys had six that were the same, including five of the last six. So some head scratchers in there to start the evening. Huh.
So I
You
guess
guys
it's my
five
turn
and
now.
nine. 5 and 9 for me were the same.
You sure it wasn't six?
Yeah, good call.
6 and 3. Yep. All right, Van Grohl, what do you got for us, my guy?
All right. So I've only got 7. I did add one as we were talking here.
Okay,
Oh,
that's fine.
So
We didn't really have a set number. We just kind of rolled in.
yeah, I will say there may be a couple repeats in here. I will say mine are going to maybe be a little lackluster, but we'll just go for it and see what happens.
I'm gonna, before we get into this, punch the gas or pump the brakes. Since we're throwing punches out, I'm gonna say tire changer punches air and gets last in fantasy this year.
Ooh, wow.
You're gonna be punching air.
Getting bold. All right.
Okay.
The old P3 for the tire changer this
Jesus.
year. And the other part, now we brought that up, I just love when you have a tough week because you were just so down in the chat.
Yep.
When things go wrong for you.
Yep.
You're just like, yeah, sad, just terrible
Yep.
picks. Like, you know what we're gonna say, so you just get it out there for us.
Yep.
We don't have to say much.
Yep.
Paralysis by analysis. Yeah, you just.
Oh.
Anyways, sorry.
All right. So punch the gas, pump the brakes. RFK will have one car in the championship 4 in 2024.
Yeah, I'm gassing up.
I'm pumping the brakes.
All right. So, Khaled, which one do you think it is?
Brad K.
Brad K?
Yep.
I'm gonna go on the basis. I think they're gonna have another great year. I think Brad K is gonna get his first win with RFK. Busher will get a win. but I don't see them cracking the top four. I think we'll have another Busher or Keselowski will have another year of getting to the round of 8.
Sure.
I think they'll both get in. They'll both be solid, competing. They'll be there, but I don't foresee them cracking the final four.
So, all right. So a little off topic. Well, not off topic, but piggyback off of this. Will RFK be the top Ford team in the Cup Series?
I'll punch the gas on that.
Yep. Yep.
I'm excited for them. I'm a bit of a fan of the RFK. I like the mindset that they got going into it. They got some of the pretty slick paint schemes as well. So
Yep.
I'm definitely keeping an eye on them this year.
I like to like Brad K. Like they struggled the first year he went over there like
Yep.
that, and it didn't take long for them to get things turned around. And
Yep.
And you got to remember he's done it before with a truck team too. Given Cup's a completely different animal, but he knows that ownership side a little bit.
Yep. He'll
And
make
he
the
had
move he needs to do.
Yep, and he had a damn good truck team too.
Yep.
So, all right. Next one. William Byron will be your 2024 Cup Series champ.
Yep.
so I made a statement before that we're gonna have a repeat winner. So I guess I'm pumping the
Yep.
brakes.
Okay. So all right. So on that, what are you thinking here? If you're gonna repeat, who's repeating?
I think
It ain't Blaney because you said he's gonna struggle.
it's
Now
definitely
you
not.
got to figure out who's won a championship.
Yeah, I'm just gonna pull out.
You got Kyle Busch, you got Logano, you got Chase Elliott,
Brad Keselowski.
MTJ.
I think Matt Kenseth is gonna get it done with Legacy Motorsports. Um, um, yeah, no, I don't think 2012 NASCAR champion Brad K. Well, I just pumped the brakes on them having a Final Four car, so they're out too. Um,
The analysis is just
yeah,
he's
It
usually
just
so
mentioned paralysis by analysis.
yeah, so
yeah,
listen to this. So I went back to 2012 was Brad K.
Yep.
champion. And then you go Jimmy Johnson, Kevin Harvick, Kyle Busch, Jimmy Johnson, MTJ, Logano, Busch, Elliott, Larson, Logano, Blaney. So since 2012, Johnson, Harvick, Busch, Johnson. I mean, Johnson and Harvick are out. I don't know. I think so. You go back to 2017. This is where I think the winner will come from. MTJ, Logano, Busch, Elliott, Larson, Blaney.
yeah. So minus Blaney because you just said he's going to struggle. So that group from
MTJ, Logano, Busch, Elliott, Larson. There you go.
What was oh no, you posed that question of if Elliott was gonna make the championship or not.
Yeah.
You
Are you
posed that
asking me?
question. Yeah. Because you posed the question.
Yeah.
he
I'll throw
might
him
be.
in there.
What's that?
I'll throw him in there.
You'll throw him in there?
All
Yep.
right.
Okay.
I was going to say, otherwise you're scratching off another name.
Nope. I'll throw him in there. Out of the sheer fact of him and Mr. H after this offseason have a pretty clear expectation of what he needs to do this year after his little stunt he had last year, getting injured and then not really having a great year.
And getting suspended.
Yep. him and Mr. H just had what you would say a fireside chat over the off season and got really clear on their expectations of each other, and they'll have a bounce back year.
All right.
Um,
All right. Moving into the dirt scene here a little bit. We kind of touched on it a little bit already. Brad Sweet will be the high limit champion over Rico Abreu.
I got Rico.
I got Rico as well.
Yeah, so we got two pump the brakes there.
I was joking when I was talking about Brad Sweet being distracted, but honestly, I do feel like he's gonna have when he shows up to the racetrack, like he's got a whole lot more on his plate now, not just driver. You're talking about owner, promoter, keeping
Yep.
guys happy. He's got a lot more on his plate that he's dealing with.
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. And I think Rico last year with his team, that was kind of not that it was a coming out year. We've all known Rico's good, but I
He
would say
he found another level.
correct. Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Another dirt scene one, and again, this is one that we kind of touched on a little bit already, but I'm going to put a twist on it. Buddy Kofoid will be the new championship contender to David Gravel next year.
Yes.
I'll
You're,
I'll
you're,
pump the brakes.
I was about to say, you're thinking hard on that one.
I'll pump the brakes and say I think he'll be a top five. He was in and out of a seat last year. All the time, but I'm gonna say the new top three that are gonna be going at it every week will be Gravel, Schuhart, and Haudenschild. And then I'll throw in Macedo.
Sure.
Yep.
All
I
right.
think Kofoid can slide into that 5 spot, and then
We're forgetting about
maybe
Sells.
Yeah, Gio
Selzy.
Selzy.
Yep.
Hate to say Shots is on the decline, but I feel like he's like a 4 to 8.
Yeah, I would agree. Consistently.
Sure.
So
Okay.
I'll throw Kofoid in that 4 to 8 range. You can put him where you want him, but I don't think he'll be the contender to old DG2.
All right. All right. So I had two NASCAR, I had two dirt. I'm going to get two asphalt late models here.
I'm definitely calling your bluff though. I'm gonna say you're punching the gas on this statement. You're a big Buddy fan, aren't you?
I am. I like Buddy. I am. I am definitely punching the gas on that one.
Got it. Okay.
So
All
that
right.
means here.
So we mentioned earlier about Steven Nasse doing the Cars Tour full time next year. Nasse will win 3 or more races in the Cars Tour in 2024.
I should know this, but
I'm pumping the brakes.
who's he racing with?
He's running his own stuff.
His own stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna go brakes. Now he's a wheelman. I'm gonna say he's gonna win 2 races. It's not gonna be 3, it's gonna be 2.
Sure.
He's gonna have a good year, but he's running against our a couple of guys and Butterby and Queen and Landon Huffman and
Waffle.
Quapple is over there. I'm gonna say he's gonna have a good year, but I'm not gonna say more than 3.
All right. Cam.
Obviously, we're dabbling a little bit. This isn't my cup of tea, but Steven Nass, he's a staple. And if his car was anything like it was on Saturday, yeah, I'll punch the gas. He'll win 3.
All right. I am going to be curious on how he runs this year. I'll definitely pay a lot more attention to the Cars Tour this year because of that. Quaffel's definitely going to be hard to beat along with Butterbean Queen and Hoffman. So I am definitely going to be intrigued on that. I'll be interested to see what the rest of his racing schedule looks like too with that. So
Mm-hmm.
that'll be a good one. So this one is one that I think will maybe stir a little conversation and may get a little bias going into here, but I'm intrigued to see what you guys are going to say here. This is still a punch the gas or pump the brakes here. So
Something about Kraus.
the regional touring series, the Midwest Tour, Southern Super Series, CRA, will be more competitive than the ASA National Tour.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Why?
You guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm going to take a big swing here. Did we not? I feel like the ASA National Tour last year had a strong start and it had started fizzling out towards the end of the year. Like I feel like there was a couple races, I forget where it was that like we're getting down to, 18, 19, 23 and like car count.
Yep.
And I'm gonna say that on the premise of I hope we have a ton of guys running the Midwest Tour.
And I would agree with that. Because
I'm
I
gonna
think
take the weekly with the change in the super late model rules, just change the landscape of the tour.
the other thing too is, and I'm trying to look up the stats here.
I mean, you had a top four car not even run all of the events
Yep.
for the national tour last year, and that was even Bubba Pollard.
You had 6 cars, or no, this is even fully updated. Never mind. I was gonna say at one point you had 6 cars run all the races. But then yeah, Bubba dropped out of a couple of them.
And Majeski wasn't even going to run a handful of them until he found out where he was in the point standings.
Yep.
He was late entry into a couple of those pending some truck stuff because he realized that he could win both the owner and the driver championships.
Yep. And obviously the owner is where the money is at. So
Correct. So I'm going to say you're going to have more guys running under the same team banner,
yep.
which is going to affect the national tour competition side of it because you're going to have teams drawing local guys to bolt on a 4 barrel and run the national tour races where you're not going to have the guys like this year running all 10, 12, whatever number of events it is.
Sure.
It's going to be a different feels, kind of what I'm thinking.
Yeah. Yep. And again, I kind of spurred this off of the recent news with the Midwest kind of getting that unified rule book. I think you're just going to get stronger car counts in the regional series than you will in the touring series.
Yep.
And even then, those car counts are going to be tough fields throughout that as well.
Yes.
So
I would agree.
last one here is not a punch the gas or pump the brakes one. It's purely up for discussion one. It is Cup Series related. It's just simply put, what will be the race of the 2024 Cup Series? Race of the year, that should say. What is going to be the race of the year?
Martinsville Final Four. Cutoff. Everyone played too nice this year.
Okay.
If we're going storylines, must watch. You guys know where I'm going with this?
Yeah, he's going Daytona night race to end the regular season.
Bingo.
I knew it.
I just freaking Daytona under the lights is just
Oh, it's
awesome.
awesome. Yep.
and then you throw in that summer race and
It could rain.
what?
Yep.
It could rain. Little sense of urgency.
It could rain, and you just got that is race where you're gonna have
To put it
14
bluntly,
through 14 through 19 that are gonna be racing for points, but then
Yep.
you can get that's a race where you can get somebody that's 22nd on back in points that can win a race and get in.
Yeah.
True.
So yeah, I guess tire changer. What's your race in 2024?
The I think again, kind of going with storylines. Um, I and I'm excited for this one. I think it's going to be NASCAR's return to the Indy Oval.
Oh, that's a good call.
I am stoked for that one. If I had to pick one, I think it's back where it rightfully belongs. I think it'll become a crown jewel race again. I think it's got to be the Indy Oval race.
Yep. That's a good call. It goes back to being the race in Indy.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Wowza.
That was doozy.
I was about 36, 37 statements and debates, I guess you could say. Hot takes, whatever you want to. Life's all about perspective, however you want to spin it.
Yep.
Yep, for sure.
But a ton of fun. And I don't know. I really enjoyed that. I was gonna say one other. I know we gotta get to our next topic, but I was gonna say over under, 10 different drivers to win a race this upcoming year.
Over.
Yeah.
Hugely over.
Over.
Way
I'm not
over.
going 16, but it'll definitely be over 10.
I'm gonna say 13.
Okay.
God, that's a good number. Really good number.
It's not too many, but it's just enough to make it
Yep.
interesting.
Yep.
That's what
It
we
gets you
want.
worried at the end of the year.
13's a lot better than number 12.
Ouch. Wow.
Anyways, so yeah, that was actually a lot of fun. Enjoyed that. And stay tuned for our summer episode of Hot Laps at Cedar Lake and Slinger. And loser's got to get an ass tat that says Hot Lap Loser.
Oh, what? Whoa.
That was not compared to this deal.
I was about to say, yikes. You better be careful. You're involved in this deal as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, quick hitters. I know as we wrap up this episode, few quick hitting race previews. Kel, were you going to jump in and take the race preview for Luke Soil, or you want me to?
Go ahead.
So coming up, I believe, is it next week?
It's all
Yeah, they start Thursday actually. Or sorry, Wednesday.
Tomorrow or this week, Wednesday?
Sorry, Wednesday is practice, Thursday's first night.
For Lucas Oil at Golden Isle Speedway. Fair amount of guys have been testing there. JD's been out there. So as we mentioned, dirt late model racing is getting back into full swing. So Lucas Oil is going to be at Golden Isles this coming weekend. And if you don't have to go, now's the time to get it before racing. And I would bet you'll get your money's worth on the first weekend. So
They go on a long stretch here too of racing.
Yeah. They hit her hard right out of the gate.
Golden Isle, Ocala Speedway, Alltech. Yeah, they're just literally hammer on the throttle with the next week.
A lot of race days.
yeah. So that'll be one that we'll definitely be touch on. Let's go, JD. start the year strong, and love our dirt late model racing. So another race preview. I know somebody put on one of their bucket list races, our tire changer. I'll let you take the second one for us.
Yeah, the Rolex 24 Hours of Daytona. Obviously, I mentioned it's one of the biggest sports car races on this side of the ocean. So that's coming up this weekend. They just qualified last weekend. They'll start on Saturday, finish on Sunday. Obviously, it's just always a great event. Always enjoy watching that one. You got a couple of faces in new places. Jordan Taylor's back on his father's team. Corvettes are always really strong when they're there. New track record as well as far as qualifying goes. So we got some fast cars there as well. So yeah, 24 Hours of Daytona. It'll be split between Peacock and USA Network. So I will, but definitely be trying to watch as much as I possibly can.
Caffeine included.
Yikes.
No sleep. Team no sleep.
Sleep when I'm dead.
Any other final thoughts?
No, just solid episode and got another good one for next week.
Yeah, I'm excited. That's not next week's gonna be another good one.
And boys, I don't know if you can tell, but the racing season, we're starting to, like when you're getting back like me right now, 2024 New Year's resolution, like you slowly get back into working before you ramp it up. That's what we're in right now for racing. We're easing back in this, we're slowly ramping up, and pretty soon we're gonna be full swing of things. And I just love now that we don't have Monday and Thursday night football. Now there's like a 80% chance that you can tune in on Monday and Thursday night and catch a dirt late model race or something. So full swing of things. Love it. But yeah, it's a great episode. Love doing it. Good debates, hot takes, and all that. So as we wrap this thing up, next week, we're gonna give you another little good. I guess you could maybe throw in that we're gonna continue on the train of 2024 hot takes. We're gonna do racing report cards. And we're gonna dabble with some teams in NASCAR, just NASCAR Cup Series. And we're gonna pick out a couple categories and we're gonna grade teams on our expectations for 2024. Top 10s, top 5s, wins, drivers in the playoffs, and give each team kind of a report card on our expectations in 2024. So
Can maybe hammer it on some drivers too.
yeah, I think within that is definitely going to be throwing in drivers, and I think the whole team expectation sub bullet point 2 is going to be what's going to drive those expectations, the drivers and where they're going to finish. So yeah, as we wrap this thing up, love doing this episode. We appreciate anybody that listens, and don't be afraid to drop us a like, a comment, subscribe, turn that bell on so that you get notified when the best racing content drops. So with that, we'll do some hot laps and take this thing home. Thanks for listening. We'll see you guys next week.